and then the fans loved. I mean, the average watchers loved it at 84%. The one thing about this movie, Kate, that did it for me, because I wasn't sure how it was going to end, and I've watched a lot of other movie influencers review this movie and say that they didn't feel necessarily satisfied at the end, but the film itself they felt conflicted. The film itself was very well done and good and interesting or whatever, but at the end it kind of leaves you like it was like, oh, okay, that's it. Yeah. But I liked it because it circled back to the one theme about their relationship, which was let's start over. Which was essentially the beginning of how they met.
It's interesting that you say that because I was just reading up on the plot, and I didn't realize that even though it's the theme within the film, it's actually a theme within Zendaya's character, Emma. It literally starts in the beginning, which I didn't catch in the coffee shop when she said, "Oh, let's just start over." Yeah. And I didn't realize she's literally saying that throughout the entire film. And I don't know if it's also a way for her to kind of also want to start over for herself. You know, she was a kid and a teenager who went through bullying and withstood all that stuff. And so I think it was a way for her to be like, you know, who was a bookstore clerk, you know, a way for her to be like, I want to create this life for myself. And maybe I never saw this happening for me. So why don't we just start over? And I just thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. And I got to listen, Zendaya is going to, my prediction for 27, 28 is that between the years 27 and 28, that Zendaya will do some films or a film that will get her an Oscar. This woman
absolutely
needs not. She is a fantastic actress.
She's gotten better, though.
That has grown up in front of our eyes and have become in facial emotion, in delivery, where you feel everything she's doing. She is engaged and locked in with that character, the people she's on screen with. Her and Robert Pattinson's chemistry was off the chart amazing, which made this film even better. Robert Pattinson is just, I think, extremely underrated for his acting. I think he's a fantastic actor. And it was the performances and the story. The story was so offbeat in terms of what we find out that it was like, oh, damn.
It was so random, and you're like, you know what, though? It kind of worked. And he says something, and I won't say exactly what he said because it'll give it away, but Robert Pattinson's character, Charlie, says something where he goes, you know, but is it fair to judge her for that? I mean, you have a million people walking around all day long that probably thinks about these things.
About the same,
and they forget about it, and they're going around with their normal life. So it was like, I think that was the theme of the movie, and I think also it was kind of interesting for him because he seems to have it all together in the sense of, you know, has a very great job. He works at the British Museum as an art curator. You know, I think you get the picture that he kind of has it all figured out compared to her. That's the impression I got, that she was a little bit of a mess and he was a little bit of he looked physically a mess, but he, I think, had a career or whatever. He was just looking for love. They were two of the most unlikely people probably that you wouldn't think that would fall in love, but I really enjoyed it. And I think you're right. I think she is the female Michael B. Jordan. In a couple of years, she's going to win her first Oscar.
Well, she's better than Michael B. Jordan in terms of being an actor.